Hey YouTube, this is Todd with Imperfect Silence. Going to give you a pedal board walkthrough. I know I've put up a lot of videos for music, and I thought I'd give you a quick little rundown of what's on my board currently, and kind of give you a little bit of description and how I use the pedals when I do my videos. So starting over here is the MXR Dyna Comp. Right now I really like this pedal. It makes your tone a little dark. But I like it. It does what I need it to do. I'm not a big compression fan. I'm kind of new to it, but now that I've used one, I can't live without it. It's always on my pedal board, but I might be looking to upgrade it in the future. I'm not sure yet. If you have any suggestions, put it down in the comments. That would be great, because I'm new to compressor pedals. I've never really used one previously. But when I'm doing ambient stuff and doing swells, you definitely need one. Alright, moving next in the signal chain is the Maxon OD808 overdrive pedal. I like this pedal too. Basically, I use this pedal for when I'm doing slides or I'm doing some kind of lead work. I'll kick this baby on. If I'm not looking for a big distorted tone, I'll use this pedal. Moving next is the Big Muff Electro-Harmonix, the Big Muff Wicker. Basically, this pedal here has two switches, which is the tone on the left and wicker here. I usually leave those off. And as you can see my settings, these aren't really my settings here. I usually have the volume up a little more, and then I play with the tone. I usually run it here, noon, 11, or maybe to 2, just depending. And then the sustain, I usually crank it with about noon, or I dial it back here, just depending on what kind of tone I'm looking for. I usually mainly use this pedal for rhythm. So that's kind of how I use that. Moving next is the Earthquaker Devices Arpanoid. This pedal I've had for a while. I've used it in one video. You can look on my videos if you're kind of looking what it can do. But I still haven't, scratched the surface on all the possibilities of this pedal. I kind of just used it in that kind of context. But I would like to really dig into it someday and see what I can come up with. But as of right now, it's a cool pedal. I just don't use it enough, and I can't really speak about it. But from what I've heard of it, and what you can do with it, and what I've seen other people do with it, it's a quite amazing pedal, and it sounds great. All right, next in the signal chain is the Earthquaker Devices Bit Commander. This pedal is kind of interesting. I use it mainly for a distortion pedal. I think it's touted as this like synth kind of thing to get on your guitar, which it does. It kind of sounds like 8-bit Nintendo music. It's really cool. You can get some cool sounds out of it. But I use it as a distortion pedal. I think it's it doesn't get talked about as being a distortion pedal, but man, it's really good. I turn the sub down, I turn the down all the way and up all the way down. Crank the bass all the way up, and then the filter I kind of mess with here, and then use the volume as appropriate. And man, you can get some really cool distortion tones, and it sounds really nice. I used it in a couple of videos. Just look on the descriptions and you can see which videos I used it, and if you hear distorted sound. Next, we move on to the Earthquaker's Devices Rainbow Machine. I usually use this pedal as a chorus pedal. I keep all my knobs at noon, and it's a really cool sounding chorus. I know you can get some pretty, crazy, wacky sounds off of it, but I haven't really experimented with it too much. But I'd like to, and I know a few of my subscribers have asked me to do a video seeing some of the things that you can do with it. So that's a pedal I'm going to dive into as well and try to figure out what I can come up with. But for right now, I just mainly run it as a chorus pedal. Moving next in the chain is the Electro-Harmonix Micro Pog. I love this pedal. I've had this pedal for probably 5 years, and I can't live without it. I mean, it's always going to be on my board. I normally run it the dry knob all the way off, and then I usually for swells and stuff like that, I usually keep the sub octave all the way up, and then the octave up, I'll usually crank it to noon or off. That's for when I do swells and stuff like that. If it sounds kind of like a synthesizer kind of thing, that's what's on. And then when I'm doing melodies, sometimes I'll kick on the the octave up all the way and then turn the sub octave off. And that's when you hear me get those really high notes and stuff like that. And it kind of sounds like, I don't know, it gives a really unique sound. But that's what I'm doing when I'm using that pedal. Alright, moving next into the signal chain is, I believe it goes to the volume pedal here, which is an Ernie Ball VP Jr. And then going out of the Ernie Ball volume pedal tuner out, I have the TC Electronic Polytune 2. I love this tuner. It's really good. I can't recommend it enough. I love the display on it. It's really bright, so I can always see it. I know it's going crazy right now. It's a really good tuner. And this settings, you know, you can strum all your strings at once, and it will show them if they're all in tune or not. And you can tune that way. It's a really great pedal. Next, going from there, it goes to the Warped Vinyl Analog Vibrato Chorus. I love this pedal. I still have a lot to learn with it. There's so many things you can do with it. But if you hear sometimes when I kick on something that makes it sound like a record player, kind of, that's the pedal I'm doing it. It's just an awesome pedal. Sounds amazing. And it's from Chase Bliss Audio. So if you're looking to, they just came out with the MK2 version of this pedal. It's all white, but this is still a great pedal. But like I said, this is like typical my settings right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you have any questions, you just put them down in the comments section. All right, moving on. We go to actually the Zvex Lo-Fi Junkie, which is right here. And this pedal is kind of cool too. It's similar to the Warped Vinyl, but this one kind of gives more of that old play record, but kind of like just old. It sounds like really scratchy and stuff like that. And that's the pedal I'm using right here. And those are my settings that I normally use all the time. Sometimes I'll mess with the tone knob right here. Maybe put it down a little bit, or I'll put it up, just kind of knowing what kind of sound I'm looking for. So going out of that, we go up into the Strymon El Capistan. I can't talk enough about this pedal. This pedal will always be on my board. I love this pedal. It sounds so great, and you can do so many things with it. I've really cracked it open in some of my later recent videos that I've had, where I'm using it as a looper as well. But this is a tape delay, and it has 3 settings of the tape head: fixed, multi, and single, and then 3 different modes. The C mode is the looper, and I know there's 2 different settings for the looper. I think if we turn this knob here, the time knob to the left, it's 10 seconds, and if you turn it to the right, it's 20 seconds of loop time. But you hear me use this pedal a lot, and I cannot speak enough about this pedal. It sounds amazing, and it's awesome. There's secondary functions of this pedal, and you can put reverb on this pedal as well. And I think I have it a little bit on there, but I love that pedal. So yes, if you're looking to get a nice delay pedal for ambient music and kind of get that washy sound, that pedal right there can do it for you. All right, moving on next is the Strymon Blue Sky. This pedal I just added back on the board. I took it off for a while, and I just added it back because I'm experimenting with it and trying to get more different sounds. And this is another pedal that's really great. It might look like it's limited, but it's not. It has 3 settings as well. It has normal, mod, and shimmer. And it has 3 different types of reverbs: plate, room, and spring. So I'm experimenting with this pedal a little bit too and trying to see what sounds I can come up with. I haven't been using it as much, but I'm trying to now because there's some different sounds that you can get on this pedal, and I really like it. So probably expect some more videos in the future featuring that pedal. Alright, moving on next is the Strymon Mobius, and I just recently picked this up a while ago, and I have not even cracked the surface of this pedal. I'm still learning it, still seeing what I can do with it. I haven't featured it in videos yet, but I guarantee it will be coming up soon. So basically, this covers all my bases for modulation, like choruses, phasers, vibe, rotary, and just a whole bunch of stuff on here. If you can see, it's got so many different sounds. Like I said, I haven't even cracked it open yet. But so far, what I've heard, when I've experimented with it, it sounds great. And like, you know, as you can see, this is kind of like the Strymon board, but there's a reason. They really do make great pedals, and it's not just hype. They sound amazing, and they're just built really well. All right, moving on. Next is this TC Electronic Flashback delay. This was one of the first delay pedals I picked up. It's also a looper, but I use this for stereo ping pong. And that's pretty much it. But it also has a lot of different settings like lo-fi, tape, analog delay. One delay on this pedal that I really love and used to use all the time is the 2290 setting. I think it just sounds amazing. And I can't recommend this pedal enough. It has 3 different settings for the, you know, the notes and stuff like that. Here, you guys can see it there. Sorry about the camera work, guys, but I'm doing handheld here. I tried using the tripod and it just was not working. So moving on from the TC Electronic, we go into the Strymon Timeline. And I know a lot of people on YouTube ask, well, why do you have an El Capistan and a Timeline, a Flashback? Why do you need all these delays and these reverbs? Well, when you're doing ambient guitar, you kind of need a wash under your guitar, and you need a lot of delay to make the music kind of just hang out there so you can overlap it in layers. And that's kind of how I think of it. It's just a bunch of layers that are kind of washing together and just kind of floating. So that's why you need these different pedals. I mean, I don't need all these pedals to make ambient music. I can use probably the El Capistan and a delay pedal, and I'd be just fine. But it's just nice to have different options to come up with different sounds, because sometimes, you know, ambient music can get you know, it just, if you don't do enough or if you don't put a melody to it, it can kind of get boring really quick, you know, or it just might turn people off. So it's just nice to have different options. But anyway, let's move on to the timeline here. Right now, this is one of my favorite settings I actually got off of the Strymon. It's a Dropbox folder. It was a setting I found. It's called Washed Up, and it's just amazing delay, and it gives it kind of like a lo-fi. I love it. As you can see, it's connected to the multi-switch that Strymon just released a few months ago. Why I have that on there is it's really hard to click through your presets here doing this while you're trying to play. So I got that. Eventually, I like to get a MIDI switch, probably from Disaster Area Devices, to control all 3 of my pedals here, the Big Sky, the Mobius, and the Timeline, but haven't gotten one yet. One thing I like about the Timeline is all the different settings, and like I said, these Strymon pedals, I haven't even gotten into them and really experimented with them. I just use the presets mostly, but just for the presets that they offer, sound amazing. So, but one day I'll sit down and, you know, come up with my own patches. All right, moving on is the last pedal in the chain on the pedal board, which is the Big Sky. This pedal is awesome as well. And you're probably asking, well, you have a Blue Sky and a Big Sky on your pedal board. Well, like I said, sometimes I don't want to, maybe if I'm doing a loop and I want a little spring reverb, and then I'm, you know, going to put it to the looper, and then I need a bloom setting, it's kind of hard to go and change the pedal really quick when I can just go turn the Blue Sky off and turn the Big Sky on. So that's why, or I just mix some of the settings on the Blue Sky, like the shimmer mode on the Blue Sky, and then maybe do a bloom on the Big Sky. So that's the reason why I have two pedals. They're basically the same thing, but they're not. You know, the Big Sky has a lot more functions than the Blue Sky. And then out of that, it goes into the Boomerang 3-phrase sampler. This pedal right here, I still have it, but a Ditto looper from TC Electronic, which is an awesome pedal as well. But I was just looking to do more with my looping. I felt that using the single looper, just kind of putting them all together, they just stack together, and, you know, kind of goes nowhere. For me, I was looking to do more, kind of bringing parts together, layering, turning parts off, you know, putting reverse and octaves and stacking, just a whole bunch of stuff. And like the fade option on the Boomerang is really cool. I've used that in a few videos. I'll turn the fade on, and then I'll keep the loop going on the El Capistan and kind of experiment with that. But that's my pedal board right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry about the camera work. Also, if you have any questions or anything I do have an Ask.fm account. It's ask.fm/Todd K. Edwards. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, which is Ty K Edwards. And if you like my music and that, just go head over to Facebook, become a fan of it. It's facebook.com/imperfect silence music. Yes, I know the channel is under my name, Todd K Edwards, but officially the band, or when I put out EPs, which I'm working on currently, will be under the name Imperfect Silence. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments, questions all below. And if you're just viewing this video and you haven't listened to music, please take the time and listen to one of my music videos. And I hope you like it. And please subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.